Welcome to another video on smart architectural programming, and in today's video we'll be focusing on unlocking the power of expert systems in artificial intelligence. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever wished you could bottle up the wisdom of a seasoned expert and pull it off the shelf whenever you need it? Imagine if you could have an expert brain working tirelessly 24/7 to solve problems, optimize decisions, and answer questions. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not. It's called expert systems in artificial intelligence, and it's revolutionizing how we approach problem solving across industries. So let's explore this together. Before we dive deeper, I would request you to like and subscribe on our video if you get any value from our channel. So without further ado, let's focus on dive deeper. What are expert systems? To understand expert systems, picture your favorite mentor. They have years of experience, nuanced judgment, and a knack for solving tricky problems. Now imagine capturing all their knowledge in a digital system that can analyze data, reason logically, and offer solutions. That, in essence, is an expert system. Expert systems are AI programs that simulate the decision-making abilities of a human expert. And how do they do that? There are three basic reasoning or logics behind why expert systems work as they do. Number one, they have a knowledge base where they store facts, rules, much like an encyclopedia. Any available data, knowledge can be stored there. Presumably, let's give an example of a lawyer. All laws, all case judgments, all precedents, everything is in the knowledge base, basically, that the AI can access and go over anytime. Number two is the inference engine. It draws conclusions by applying logical reasoning to the knowledge base. So basically, code is written through which we train an AI to basically infer decisions based or conclusions based on applying some sort of reasoning given the information in the knowledge base. And this reasoning is trained until it is 70-80% correct. It's not 100% times correct, but it's 70-80% times correct, basically. And this needs to be tuned by training the AI, basically. So that's an inference engine. Number three is the user interface. We're communicating with users and answering questions and offering recommendations. This setup, basically the place where you as a human would interact with this expert system. And let's say you're asking for legal advice. You log in on a website, create an account, ask it that message somewhere on your browser, basically, once you set up the account. That's the user interface. All right, now think of it as a brain in a box, combining computational power with depth of expert knowledge and never needing coffee breaks. Well, honestly, that might sound cool and all when we're the one availing services, but I'm pretty sure we'll love having unlimited coffee breaks if it was us. With that, let's move on to the next section, which is why are expert systems a very big deal in the current day and age? You must have heard of ChatGPT. You must have heard of Llama from Facebook. You must have heard of Grok from Twitter. You must have heard of Claude. All of these are kind of expert systems, but they're not specifically tuned to a specific knowledge base. But they gave the foundation for us to tune expert systems to a large degree. Expert systems shine in areas where expertise is essential, but human experts may not always be available. They can assist in decision making, provide consistent, unbiased advice, and work tirelessly to analyze complex data. An example of this could be where expertise is healthcare in rural areas in third world countries. There are no doctors there in those villages, and there's no hospital, certainly. So an expert system could go a long way there. So let's see how these expert systems are making an impact. That's why they're a big deal. Nothing becomes a big deal if it doesn't have any practical, big positive effects on society. So expert systems are having a big positive effect on society. That's why they're becoming a big deal. So number one, healthcare, as I just gave an example earlier. In medicine, expert systems like MySyn have been used to diagnose diseases and recommend treatments. These systems analyze symptoms, medical history, and lab results to provide accurate and fast recommendations, sometimes even outperforming human doctors. So imagine this. You're a human, you have limited stamina, you have limited scope to digest and recall information, while this particular expert system has access to all the data, all everything, and it can consider all aspects of an analysis, while a human doctor, in most cases, or is basically only able to analyze the data he has in his head, or a checklist he might have to go one by one by one. So either they're slow, and B, if they don't have all the data, they might have a skewed prescription initially. But mostly human doctors compensate for that by running tests, checking if that assumption was correct, then redoing, creating another assumption, so on and so forth, basically. But with an expert system, it goes over everything, and it can probably get very near to the accurate diagnosis much quicker than human doctors. Number 2 is finance. We have expert systems that evaluate risk, detect fraud, and assist in investment planning. They process enormous amounts of financial data to make informed predictions and decisions. Now you might be wondering, yeah, that's great, but I don't see them anywhere. Oh, please, you won't see them anywhere. Big companies are trading through algorithms. They're using quants who are creating algorithms that are trading on the stock market. You don't know about that because that isn't something that's put forward, but they're making tremendous amount of money using expert systems to do all of that for them. To a degree, Capital One has initiated an AI basically, which easily detects fraudulent use of credit cards basically by third parties who might be picking up someone else's credit card and using that. So among all of this, finance has been a very expert systems have a major positive impact in the world of finance. Then we have number 3, which is manufacturing. Manufacturing processes benefit from expert systems through quality control, predictive maintenance, and optimizing production lines. They help identify potential issues before they occur, saving time and resources. So basically, all aspects of manufacturing process, quality control is basically one of the biggest issues that you might have. Because humans probably are not that good in making sure that something is consistent, but a machine is extremely consistent and it can do quality control much more effectively. Similarly, it can help you optimize production lines without any bias, telling you exactly what needs to go where for the best optimal output result from that particular manufacturing process or line. And finally, when you talk of predictive maintenance, it has sensors in different machines detecting their usage, wear and tear, and estimating when potentially these machines might need to be repaired or maintained, basically, or replaced entirely, basically. So, manufacturing expert systems are having an enormous impact as well. And then we have customer support. Many companies use expert systems to power chatbots and virtual assistants, providing instant responses to customer queries and troubleshooting problems efficiently. You might have noticed, instead of waiting for a customer agent in the current day and age, you can get hold of a lot of people who can get this done for you quite easily. Then let's move on to the next section, which is how do expert systems work behind the scenes, basically. Let's take a quick sneak view of how they actually work. So let's give it a simplified breakdown of how expert systems operate. Number 1, they have an input. You provide the system with a problem or a query. Say, what's the best material for a high humidity environment, basically. Then number 2, reasoning. The inference engine applies rules and facts from the knowledge base. Think of it as Sherlock Holmes connecting the clues. And number 3, output. The system offers recommendations, often with explanations like material X is recommended because it resists mold and has high durability. You can see how the entire process works. You give something, you ask a question, then it runs its reasoning by getting the information and then inferring based on that information, and then it gives its output, which is the recommendation and answer to your query. The biggest example of this could be ChatGPT, which millions of people use every day. So let's sidetrack a little bit and look at the fun side of expert systems that are currently in action. So expert systems aren't just theoretical, they're part of our everyday lives. Let me show you some of the few examples. Mycin is a pioneer expert system that diagnoses bacterial infections and recommended treatments. It's like WebMD, but You don't need to search for that information and self-diagnose, but you ask, I'm having this, this, and this, and it asks some follow-up questions, and voila, behold, it has identified exactly potentially what's wrong, what you need to do, and how you can, what you have, and how you can solve that. But again, a cautionary tale here: these systems have not been shown to be, shown approved permanently to replace, to make these calls. So always consult a doctor. Then we have Dendrol, which has helped chemists analyze molecular structures, essentially Sherlock Holmes for science. Let me put it this way. So imagine this: we have a major problem in the antibiotic side in the current day and age. We're finding that bacteria is developing increasingly resistance against the antibiotics that we have. And basically, it's a constant battle between scientists discovering new antibiotics, while the bacteria adapting itself to the new antibiotics as well, basically. And we need to always stay a step ahead if we want to save human lives. Dendrol has helped chemists create new molecular structures for antibiotics that are coming from a completely different stream. So we have finally taken one step ahead, but rather we have taken, right, we were always one step ahead, but now we are 10, even 100 steps ahead. Then bacteria and our antibiotics are moving quickly ahead. Then we have XCon, which is an expert system used by Digital Equipment Corporation to configure computer systems. It saved their company millions by streamlining their operations. So imagine a future where these expert systems collaborate with humans to create innovative solutions across industries. Right now, they're still in the testing phase to a large degree, but hoping in the future we see how they effectively push humanity into the new frontier. So as usual, I would say that, with everything you might be thinking that, again, we're not, we're not dumb enough to think that something is that good and there's nothing wrong with it. If it was that good, it might already be in usage and might be helping millions of people. But it still isn't that much. It is still in use, but it's not that much in use. The reason let's not forget, expert systems are not perfect. They are only as good as the knowledge they are fed, and they lack the intuition and creativity of a human mind. Imagine, this is why collaboration is a necessary key when thinking of expert systems. Think of them as your brilliant assistant, but not the boss. Someone that helps you increase your productivity, but not the final decision maker. For example, a doctor might use an expert system to quickly go over thousands and thousands of databases instead of reviewing books, doing research himself. But ultimately, the final call of what might be wrong with you or what might be the corrective medicine to take is up to the doctor. Pro tip: regularly updating the knowledge base ensures systems stays relevant and insightful. AI evolves over time, just like industries and knowledge. So always make sure that the knowledge base for your expert system is up to date. So what's your takeaway, right, about your new CS AI sidekick? Expert systems are game changers for artificial intelligence. They enhance decision making, improve efficiency, open doors for innovative possibilities. While they can't replace the creativity and vision of humans, they can amplify your abilities and help us tackle challenges with speed and precision. So next time you face a complex problem, remember, there's a brain in a box ready to help you tackle it with confidence. So again, if you get any value from our video, please like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments below. What do you think about expert systems? Let us know how ChatGPT changed your life, or let us know how do you use ChatGPT to increase your productivity. Thank you, and may your solutions always be as smart as they are impactful.